We're going to go into the operation of how to use the S-100 now. Let's get into the buttons and how to use. We're going to start from the ground and build our way up. So the first thing that we're going to need to do with this is connect it to power. The power cable connects into the back. We've got one spot where the IEC cable can go. We'll securely connect that in there. Now we are going to plug in our remote. I'm going to leave mine zip tied up because I don't need to be farther away from it. Just know that if you needed to, this is a very long cable and you could have access to the remote from a good distance away. There's an input and it's labeled control input. That's what you're going to look for and plug this into. So we have control input right here. Boom. Now we're plugged in. Before I give this power, there's something else that we need to look at, and that is making sure that you have liquid in the snow machine. You always want to check that you have liquid in. So I can see right here, I do have liquid in my container. We'll go ahead and set that down. Next step, make sure that this hose is fully inserted into our container of liquid. Screw that down. We're gonna look really quick at what the options are on the back of the S-100. On the bottom, we have our power switch. When we're plugged into the power, this is what we will do to turn on the machine. If this button is not switched on, the unit is not going to operate. A feature that's native to the S-100 is this toggle switch right above our power switch. This allows you to set on the machine itself how much snow can come out. Going up, we have controller input where we've plugged our controller in. There's a controller output option. That's not something that we're going to use or worry about. It's actually blocked on the unit itself. At the top, you have your DMX in and out. Right next to it on the panel here, you have the option of setting the DMX address that you will use to control the machine if you are using DMX. When you're looking at your remote, the first thing that you should look at is your power indicator. If this red light is not turned on, it means that the master power for the unit has not been switched on. We'll go ahead and do so now, and you will notice that our indicator light has turned on. You have an on-off switch right here. This is for the snow effect itself, enabling and disabling it. You have an in use, so that when this is on and the machine is running, this green light will come on. You also have your output volume. So this is a knob that you can go to minus or plus, and what it dictates is how much snow is coming out of the machine at one time. We're gonna go ahead and go into our demonstration where I'll have this switch turned on and the volume turned to 3/4. Before we take a look at what the effect out of the S-100 looks like with the snow, I'm gonna pull up the fan that we were talking about earlier. So this is the type of fan that we would recommend using, or something similar to it. The way that I'm going to set this up, I'm gonna have the snow machine pointed back. This is going to be on the ground, laying back so that the air is pushing up. This is going to cause the suds coming out of the machine to be elevated right away further into the air, drying out as we talked about earlier. Fans are pretty straightforward in their use. The one we're using has an option for either just being on, running continuously, or I could turn the timer so that it runs for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. On the bottom, the option is how fast the air is coming out, so the speed level. That's all for the options with this. We'll go ahead and plug it in. Note that the fan does add an extra operating noise level with the machine. It's our recommendation that you do use one of these. It just gives the effect a much more enhanced look. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you're looking for any more information on what we've talked about, feel free to go to stagerightlighting.com, and there you can connect with our staff, who will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have to the best of their ability. Drop a comment below. We can try to interact with you there, answering any questions you have as well. If you like what we're putting out, hit subscribe so that you get notified every time we put a new video out.